Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration Hub. Across the country, many couples who filed for marriage-based green cards are growing increasingly anxious. What should have been a straightforward process has quietly changed because a new USCIS internal memo issued in late October 2025 and circulated to all field offices. This November is now reshaping how marriage-based interviews are handled. In this video, we'll go through the new USCIS internal memo that affects marriage-based green card interviews, the updated rules that officers are following, and how these changes are already slowing down processing timelines for I-485 and I-130 applications. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you can get updates straight to your smartphone. Now, let's get into the video. For many applicants, this news may come as a surprise. USCIS has confirmed through its official policy manual update released on October 17, 2025, that marriage-based green card adjudications will now include enhanced relationship assessments and stricter interview requirements. This means that even couples who might have previously qualified for an interview waiver are now far more likely to be called in. Under the Biden administration, many low-risk cases, especially those involving long-term marriages or couples with joint children, were being approved without interviews. But this new guidance reverses that flexibility. Field officers have been instructed to take a deeper look into every relationship before granting permanent residency. In practical terms, this means more interviews, more document reviews, and inevitably longer waits. According to internal sources cited by immigration attorneys, the new memo introduces a risk-based review system. This system quietly assigns a score to each application based on certain factors. If your marriage is relatively new, if you and your spouse have lived apart for work reasons, or if there's a large age gap between you, your case might be flagged for further review. That flag could mean an interview, a request for additional evidence, or even a delay while verification checks are performed. This doesn't mean your application is in danger, but it does mean that timelines are shifting again. Until recently, many marriage-based I-485 and I-130 filings were being approved within 8 to 10 months. As of November 2025, that window is moving closer to 12 to 16 months on average, and in some major cities like Los Angeles, Houston, and New York, couples are waiting as long as 18 months or more for interviews. The memo also clarifies that USCIS officers must verify the bona fide nature of every marriage at the time of adjudication, not just when the petition was filed. This subtle change adds more work to each case because officers now need to confirm that the relationship remains real and ongoing right up until the interview or approval date. Attorneys are already noticing the difference. More clients are reporting requests for evidence asking for updated photos, joint financial documents, or communication records. These RFEs are not necessarily a sign of trouble, they're simply the new normal under the updated policy. USCIS wants to see proof that the marriage is genuine and continuing. Another important update from this memo involves officer training and interview behavior. USCIS has emphasized consistency across field offices, meaning interviews will now follow a more standardized set of questions and evaluation procedures. Officers are also being reminded to avoid cultural or language bias, which is an acknowledgement of past complaints that legitimate couples were sometimes judged unfairly during interviews. However, while the policy aims for fairness, it's also slowing down processing. Officers are spending more time per case cross-checking data from leases, tax records, and bank accounts. This leads to fewer approvals per week and longer scheduling gaps at many field offices. If you're waiting for your marriage-based interview, this is what you can expect going forward. Once your biometrics are completed and your I-485 is marked ready for interview, your local field office will place you in a scheduling queue based on this new risk model. Some couples may still receive interview waivers, but these will now be the exception, not the rule. The National Benefits Center is also playing a bigger role in pre-screening. According to the memo, they're now flagging cases for local offices before interview scheduling even begins. This coordination is meant to improve accuracy, but is also adding a few extra weeks of delay for many pending applications. The good news is that this policy doesn't change who qualifies for a marriage-based green card, only how thoroughly each case is verified. The eligibility rules remain the same. Your marriage must be legally valid, genuine, and supported by financial sponsorship through Form I-864. What's changing is the level of scrutiny. In practical terms, that means couples should take extra care to prepare. Keep all recent financial records, joint leases, insurance policies, travel itineraries, and communication evidence ready. If you've moved, changed jobs, or opened new accounts since filing, update your records and bring copies to the interview. These small steps can make a big difference when officers are under pressure to verify everything. Immigration lawyers also recommend, practicing your interview together, reviewing basic personal questions like how you met, your daily routines, and your family backgrounds. USCIS officers are trained to look for consistency, not memorized answers. The goal really is to see that you both know each other's lives well enough to prove the relationship is authentic. Another point worth noting is that this new internal guidance may lead to longer background checks, especially for applicants with prior visa overstays or international travel histories. So even after your interview, you might face a few more weeks before a final decision is issued. Still, there's some reassurance in knowing that the memo also reaffirms USCIS's commitment to equal treatment for diverse marriages. It acknowledges that cultural differences, long-distance relationships, and language barriers shouldn't be misinterpreted as fraud. A welcome statement for many couples navigating cross-border unions. To sum up, this November 2025 internal memo signals that USCIS is tightening its verification process for marriage-based green cards. It's not about adding new laws or restrictions, it's about applying existing ones more carefully. The outcome is a slower, more cautious process, but also one that aims for consistency and accuracy. If you're in the process right now, don't panic, but do prepare. Keep your documentation up to date. Stay alert for any USCIS correspondence and check your online case status regularly. And, if your case has gone beyond the posted processing time, you can submit an inquiry or contact your local congressional office for assistance. At the heart of this change, one thing remains constant. Genuine marriages continue to be approved every single day. The system may move slower, but it's still moving forward. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It's important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration Hub channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.